Hello again, 8th graders. It's week 10 already, so that means it's been 5 weeks since we had our last big Schoology quiz, and the time has come again to do another 12-question quiz. So it's not that big. It's going to cover topic 7, lesson 2 and 3, and that takes us from textbook page 352 all the way to 366. I'm going to go ahead and read the test questions to you and give you some hints, but please remember that you must submit your work on Schoology through the Schoology website so that I can grade it. All right, let's go. Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the quiz, I just want to give you some information. You will have 4 chances to take this quiz, and I'll take the highest grade. So that means if on number 3 you got an 80, and then on try number 4 you got a 75, don't worry, I'll take the 80. So this quiz should not take you the entire week, and what I want you to do when you're finished with the quiz is use this time to finish any missing or incomplete work from week 6 to week 9. If you don't know what our work is, don't worry, I'll tell you. Alright guys, so take a peek. This is all of our work from week 6 to week 10, which is this quiz. I'm not showing you this so that you feel bad about yourself and that you panic. So if you are panicking, I want you to step back and take a deep breath. This is just, for your information, and you have the opportunity to make basically a catch-up week. And if you don't get all of your missing work from week 9 to week 6, that's really okay. If you just catch up on 1 week, or you just catch up on 1 or 2 assignments, hey, that's 1 or 2 assignments that you didn't have finished last week. So it's just a chance for you to try to learn as much as you can, which is really the purpose of, doing this whole online schooling thing. Two things to think about. It's never too late to start, and every little bit counts. Again, don't panic. 75% of this is you watching the videos and trying your best to learn, and 25% of this is you applying your knowledge. If you want to see this list, if you want to print it out or take a picture of it, you can find this on Schoology under Updates. In case you don't know how to access the quiz, please log on to Schoology, go to our science class. You can find it under our courses. It's going to look like this. I need you to click on materials that I circled in red. I need you to scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page, and it's going to look something like this. Click on week 10, and this is where I'd like you to submit your answers. And friendly reminder, this is all the work above that you should be trying to make up if you can, up to week 6. All right, so here we go. Question 1. Wind flows from high pressure to low pressure, true or false? So I'll give you a little fun saying. High to low is the way to go. High to low is the way the wind blows. So what do you think, true or false? Question 2. A wind vane points to the direction that the wind is blowing. Look at the picture of the wind vane below. Okay, so that's just a tool that will show you which way the direction is blowing, or excuse me, which way the wind is blowing, and the little arrow where the rooster's facing always points to the direction where the wind is blowing. So based on the wind vane, which direction is the wind blowing from? A, north, B, south, C, west, or D, east? So again, the arrow is going to point to the direction that the wind is blowing from. Question 3. Look at the picture below. So I see that it looks like some sort of measurement tool. It looks like a stick that has these 1, 2, 3, 4 little cups that are sticking out. It looks like it might spin around. The picture shows a tool that is used to measure wind speed and pressure. What is the name of this tool? Is it A, a wind vane, B, anemometer, C, scale, or D, model? Question 4. Look at the diagram of a sea breeze A and a land breeze B below. All right, I'm going to start with letter A, which is a sea breeze. It looks like I have warm land, and above the warm land I have warm air with the red arrow. It looks like that warm air is flowing to the sea. The sea is cooler, and above the sea it looks cool, which has that blue arrow which is flowing to the land. Now I'm going to move on to letter B, which is a land breeze. Looks like this is taking place during the night. It looks like the land is cool. The air above the land is also cool. It's flowing to the sea. It looks like the sea is warm, and the air above the sea is also warm. Which sentence best describes what is shown in the diagram? A. During a land breeze, warm air flows from the sea to the land. B. During a sea breeze, the water above the land is cold. C. During a sea breeze, cold air flows from the sea to the land. Or D, both letter A and C. So my best advice for this is really take your time and read the question. You might want to pause the video so you can read as fast or as slow as you need, and just really read the diagram. Question 5. Cold temperatures means air pressure is high, while warm temperature means air pressure is low. Is this true or false? And since you're such a good student and you are listening to me read the questions, here is a hint for you. This is air, and it's showing air in high pressure and low pressure. And to decide whether or not this statement that cold temperature means high air pressure and warm temperature means low air pressure, I would interpret the diagram with the thermometers and see if you can answer. 6. Since the air pressure at the poles is high and air pressure at the equator is low, wind tends to flow from. All right, so let's pause here. So this is a fact. Since air pressure is high at the poles and air pressure at the equator is low. So what do we know about North and South Pole and the equator? Well, I hope that you're saying that, hey, the poles are cold and the equator is warm. So cold air equals high pressure, warm air equals low pressure. All right, now I might use that information and go back to the other two questions and make sure that you answer them right. All right, so now that we know this fact, poles, cold air, high air pressure, equator, warm air, low air pressure, which direction does wind tend to flow? From A, the equator to the poles, B, from the North Pole to the South Pole, C, from the poles to the equator, or D, wind doesn't blow, it dances across the globe with jazz hands. All right, again, I'll say my handy dandy saying, high to low is the way to go. So wind's usually going to flow from high air pressure to low air pressure. Question 7. The sunlight can hit Earth two ways, directly or spot on, like you're right on target if you're trying to hit the bullseye of a target, or indirectly, slightly off target, like if you hit the target but not exactly dead center. Look at the diagram below that shows how light hits Earth. So I've got indirect, in the middle of the globe I have direct, and it looks like kind of near the bottom of the globe I have indirect. So top of the globe, indirect, middle of the globe, direct, bottom of the globe, indirect. Which part of the globe gets direct sunlight? Is it A, South Pole, B, the equator, C, the North Pole, or D, the Coriolis effect? So you got to know your parts of the globe. Question 8. Look at the picture below of the globe and the Coriolis effect, which is in black arrows. So it looks like those arrows are curved. I wonder why they're curved and they just don't go in a straight line. The Coriolis effect makes curved wind patterns. Okay, that explains the curved black arrows. What causes the Coriolis effect? Is it A, the rotation of Earth, B, local winds blowing across short distances, C, the poles and the equator, or D, Earth's position from the sun? So the Coriolis effect is when wind and ocean currents are curved instead of going in the straight line. So like I can go walk north to south in a straight line, but the winds and the currents aren't going to make a straight line. They're going to curve a little bit. But why? What about Earth makes them curve? I hope I explained that the right way. Let me know if you're confused about that. All right, question 9. Look at the picture of a polar jet stream going across the United States below. So remember, a jet stream is air that is very high in the atmosphere, and it can greatly influence local weather. All right, the polar jet stream has moved more north than usual. Predict whether the city of Boise, which is circled in white, will have a warmer winter or a colder winter based on the polar jet stream. So let me tell you how I think about polar jet streams. I think of them like a heat border. Okay, so the heat is going to stop with them. So if you are south of the polar jet stream, especially in the United States, you're going to be warm because the southern United States is closer to the equator, so the heat's going to rise up from the equator. And if you are underneath that polar jet stream, or if you are south of that polar jet stream, you're going to be roasty toasty. You're going to be warm. Now, like I said, the polar jet stream's like a border, like heat, stop, can't go. So if you are north of the polar jet stream, like Cheyenne, I don't even know what state that's in. I'll have to ask Alexa. My United States geography is severely lacking, and I feel like I should really do something about it because I'm just embarrassing myself. Anyways, focus, Miss Wostowski. Okay, so if you are north of the polar jet stream, like Cheyenne is, remember, polar jet stream is like the border. It's like heat you cannot pass. You shall not pass. You're probably going to have a colder winter. Okay, so south of the polar jet stream, warm, usually. North of the polar jet stream, cold. So what do you think? Is Boise going to have a warmer winter or a colder winter? All right, question 10. Climate is the average temperature and precipitation, fancy science word for rain, of an area over a short period of time, while weather is the atmospheric conditions over a long period of time. True or false? So again, since you guys are doing the right thing, I'll give you a little hint. So the information in this box is correct. So weather can change within a few minutes or hours. Climate takes a very long time to change. So the information in the box I just showed you is truth. Go and apply that to question 10 and decide whether that statement I just made is true or false. El Nino and La Nina are climate events that take place in what ocean? A, the Atlantic, B, the Mediterranean, C, the Dead Sea, or D, the Pacific. So this picture of the globe is the ocean where El Nino and La Nina take place. Please look at the position of North America. You notice that it's showing in this map the West Coast. Remember, we're located on the East Coast, and our closest ocean is the Atlantic. So what's the ocean on the opposite side of North America? On the West Coast, like kind of where like California is. What's their ocean? Because that's where El Nino and La Nina are going to take place. All right, finally, question 12. Look at the picture of eggs floating in fresh water and salt water. So fresh water looks like the egg is sinking. In salt water, the egg is floating. Remember, if they're made of the same material, which eggs are going to be made of the same material, they have the same density. All right, and so nice I said it twice. The eggs are the same size and material, so they have the same density. Since the egg in salt water is floating higher in the water, this shows that salt water has a higher density than fresh water. True or false? And the last thing I'm going to say is that whether or not you sink or float depends on your density compared to the density of water. So if your density is more than the density of water, you will sink. If your density is less than the density of water, you'll float. All right, guys, so that is it. I know you got this. Remember, 4 tries. And remember, it's a catch-up week, so I have a little more time to help you if you need help from me. So please reach out, email, Schoology, whatever you need to do, and I will be happy to hear from you, and I'll be even happier to help you. See you soon.